F1 fans, hold on to your steering wheels because the grid is about to get a whole lot bigger. Cadillac Racing, in partnership with TWG and General Motors, is officially joining Formula One as the 11th team in 2026. That's right, the iconic American brand is bringing its V-Series power to the pinnacle of motorsport. But what does this mean for F1? Let's break it down. 2024 has already been a roller coaster of a season, and 2025 is shaping up to be even bigger. But now, with Cadillac stepping into the F1 arena, things are heating up faster than a set of soft tires in Bahrain. I mean, who saw this coming? F1's popularity is skyrocketing, and I'm here for it. So what's the deal with Cadillac Racing? Is Andretti's controversial name still linked to the team? And why did F1 and the FIA suddenly approve this project after shutting it down last year? We'll break it all down. We'll also talk about potential drivers, engine suppliers, and what this means for the current F1 grid. And of course, I'll give you my predictions on how this will shake things up. So grab your popcorn because this is one announcement you don't want to miss. Let's dive in. Alright, let's dive into the big question. What is Cadillac Racing and why are they suddenly approved for F1 in 2026? To understand this, we need to rewind to January 2024, when Andretti Global tried to convince F1 and the FIA to let them join the grid. But let's be real, Andretti's name has been controversial in F1 circles for years. Whether it was past disagreements with teams, at the time, Cadillac Racing's entry, which was tied to Andretti Global and TWG, also got the cold shoulder. But here's where things get interesting. Michael Andretti stepped down as CEO of Andretti Global, and Dan Towers, the CEO of TWG, took the reins. Alongside GM President Mark Roos, Towers has been working tirelessly to make this partnership happen. And guess what? It worked! F1 and the FIA have finally given the green light, and Cadillac Racing is set to join the grid in 2026. So why now? Well, it's all about the people involved. TWG and GM have brought in some serious heavyweights to make this project a reality. Former Marussia sporting director Graham Loden has been appointed as team principal, and industry veteran Russo Blenz is now the CEO of TWG GM Performance Power Units. These appointments signal Cadillac's intention to become a full-works team by the end of the decade. F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali had this to say: "As we said in November, the commitment by General Motors to bring a Cadillac team to Formula One was an important and positive demonstration of the evolution of our sport. I want to thank GM and TWG Motorsports for their constructive engagement over many months and look forward to welcoming the team on the grid from 2026 for what will be another exciting year for Formula One." Mohammed Ben Sulayem added, "Today marks a transformative moment, and I am proud to lead the federation in this progressive step for the championship. GM/Cadillac brings fresh energy, aligning with the new FIA 2026 regulations and ushering in an exciting era for the sport." And let's not forget team principal Graham Loden, who knows a thing or two about setting up an F1 team. He was instrumental in bringing Virgin Racing into the sport back in 2010. With his experience and the team's aggressive hiring strategy, they've already recruited over 200 staff from past F1 teams like Renault. Cadillac Racing is positioning itself to be as competitive as possible from the very start in 2026. Andretti's absence from the process removed a major sticking point, and the involvement of TWG and GM brought credibility and resources that F1 couldn't ignore. Plus, with the new 2026 regulations on the horizon, F1 is looking to shake things up, and Cadillac Racing is the perfect addition to the grid. In short, this isn't just another team joining F1, it's a statement. Cadillac Racing is here to compete, and they're bringing the full force of American engineering and motorsport heritage with them. Buckle up, because 2026 is going to be wild. Alright, F1 fans, let's get into the juicy stuff. Who's going to drive for Cadillac Racing in 2026 and what's under the hood? Because let's be real, no one's tuning in to watch a car drive itself, unless it's a self-driving Tesla, and even then, it's boring. First up, drivers. Cadillac has made it clear they're hiring based on merit. No rookies straight out of karting. They want experienced hands who know how to handle an F1 car. So, who's in the running? Let's start with Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, who wouldn't want to see the Honey Badger back on the grid? But let's be real, Danny Rick has said he's unlikely to return to F1, so this might just be a pipe dream. Then there's Logan Sargent, but after his struggles in F1 and IndyCar, it's hard to see him making a comeback. Now, let's talk about the veterans. Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen are both solid options. They've got years of F1 experience, they're quick, and they know how to handle pressure. Plus, they're both free agents in 2026, so Cadillac could snap them up without too much hassle. And then there's Valtteri Bottas. The Finnish legend is currently Mercedes' reserve driver, but if Cadillac comes knocking, could he be tempted to make a comeback? It all depends on his contract, but let's be real, Bottas in a Cadillac would be a sight to behold. Now, let's talk about the engine. Cadillac has chosen Ferrari as their engine and gearbox supplier for 2026. That's right, the prancing horse is powering the American dream. Don't think this is a long-term deal. Cadillac plans to become a self-sufficient F1 engine supplier in the future. For now, though, they're playing it safe with Ferrari. F1 fans, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the Cadillac in the room. With Cadillac Racing joining the grid in 2026, the F1 landscape is about to change in a big way. And trust me, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for the current teams. Let's break it down, meme style. First up, the money. Right now, F1 has 10 teams, and the prize money is split between them. But with Cadillac joining as the 11th team, that prize pool is about to get stretched thinner than Ferrari's tire strategy. Smaller teams like Williams and Haas, who already operate on tight budgets, are going to feel the pinch. Even the big dogs like Ferrari and Red Bull won't be thrilled about losing a chunk of their share. But here's the kicker. F1 has asked Cadillac to pay an anti-dilution fee of $450 million. That means every current team will get an extra $45 million just for Cadillac showing up. Not a bad deal, right? Some team principals might even crack a smile for once. Now let's talk about the grid itself. 11 teams mean 22 drivers, and that's going to make things interesting. Street circuits like Monaco, Baku, and Singapore are already tight, but with 2 extra cars on track, it's going to be a bumper-to-bumper nightmare. Qualifying? Forget about it. Overtaking? Good luck. And don't even get me started on Monaco. It's already hard enough to pass, but with 22 cars, it's going to be a crash-filled chaos fest. But it's not all doom and gloom. More teams mean more competition, and more competition means more entertainment for us fans. Plus, Cadillac's entry is a huge win for F1's growing American fan base. The brand is iconic in the US, and their presence on the grid is going to bring in a whole new audience. And let's not forget why Cadillac was allowed in the first place. They're a major manufacturer with a proven track record in motorsport, and they bring serious value to the sport. F1 isn't just about racing anymore. It's a global business, and Cadillac's entry is a strategic move to make the sport even more profitable. So what does this mean for the current grid? Smaller teams will have to tighten their belts, street circuits will be even more chaotic, and the competition is about to get fiercer than ever. But for us fans, it's going to be an absolute spectacle. Alright F1 fans, it's time for my wildly controversial predictions about Cadillac Racing's entry into F1. And trust me, this is where things get spicy. Let's start with the obvious. No new team is going to roll into F1 and immediately dominate Red Bull, Ferrari, or even McLaren. Let's be real, those teams have years of experience, infrastructure, and Max Verstappen's ability to turn any car into a rocket ship. But here's the thing, 2026 is a reset year. New regulations mean every team has to build a brand new car from scratch, and that levels the playing field. Now, let's talk about Audi and Cadillac. If you know motorsport, you know Audi's racing pedigree is legendary. They've dominated Le Mans, crushed it in DTM, and even made Formula E look easy. Cadillac, on the other hand, is bringing American muscle to the grid, and with GM's resources behind them, they could be a serious contender. Audi and Cadillac have an unfair advantage. While the current 10 teams are restricted to specific wind tunnel hours based on their Constructors' Championship ranking, the new teams get unlimited wind tunnel time for their first year. That's right, unlimited. They can test, tweak, and perfect their cars without any restrictions. This could be the difference between a mid-pack finish and a podium contender. Now, let's wrap this up. Cadillac Racing's entry into F1 is a game changer. It's going to shake up the prize money, make street circuits even more chaotic, and bring a whole new wave of American fans to the sport. But most importantly, it's going to make F1 more competitive, more exciting, and more unpredictable than ever. So what do you think? Will Cadillac and Audi dominate in 2026? Or will they struggle to keep up with the established teams? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more F1 chaos. Until next time, keep the memes coming and the hype alive. Lights out, and away we go.